Hey y'all, welcome to SoulsReaper Healing. Today I'm going to do a collective water sign read. See what the energies are with you guys. The cards that came out for water signs is 21, Divine Feminine. That equals a 3. Frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connections to all of creation. The next one that came out is Eternal Flame. This is the Raven's Wand Tarot. I don't know if you guys can see that. She's wearing her, she's got like a crown or something on her forehead, and then she's got 4 birds nesting around her. One is by itself. There's 2 flying in the background. And then right above her, I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like a snake. It's like a stone that's in the shape of a snake head. Next thing that came out for guidance is Hummingbird Spirit 34. Be here now. I love that card. I like hummingbirds though. Very majestic. They fly really fast. You have to consistently drink though. Next one out, Buffalo Spirit. It's a 10. The abundant universe will provide. And then your 3 cards that came out for your challenge, or challenge is, the way I look at that is, it's something that you're not necessarily aware of, that's in your subconscious mind, or something that you're currently working on that you are aware of. First card out was Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So looking at the bigger picture, next one out was Worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. And those of us who've been on this journey for a while, we've surrendered worry because we know that worry does not change anything. All it does is it changes you as far as stressing you out and creating dis-ease in your body. Third one out is Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I know these cards are kind of glary, but on the bottom of the decks, for the first one out, you also have 28 Gaia, which equals a 10. Frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Bottom of the Raven's Wand deck deck that goes with this is the Destroying Angel. The bottom of the Animal Oracle deck is Dog Spirit, be loyal to what you love. And the bottom of, can't remember the name of this deck, Soul's Journey deck is Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So water signs, I feel like you guys are in that space right now where you're receiving downloads for your growth and your expansion. You're being more present in the moment. Starting to see that pride may have kept us from a lot of things, people, places, and things, certain opportunities. Feeling like we had to, you know, do a lot of things yourself. Not wanting to ask for help, or not wanting to face certain truths within yourself. Taking accountability and responsibility for our own patterns, beliefs. Also understanding that a lot of the patterns and beliefs that we did have are not our own. So I feel like you guys are in the space where you're letting go of that. You're understanding that pride doesn't assist you. Now, I will say this: in some instances, if you are working out of a balanced state, pride can mean different things. If you're very happy within yourself, as long as it is as long as you're doing, if you are acting out of a way of feeling whole within yourself, people can look at that as being prideful. But if you're acting out of a space of a pure heart, and you're not acting prideful in a way that you are trying to push your beliefs on others, or just being in a state of gratitude and acting, like I said, with a whole heart, then, you know, that's kind of how it can go. It has to be balanced. You have to act out of a balanced state. And that's kind of where this be here now is because when you're in the now, in the present moment, you're living. If you're in the past or in the future, you're not in the present. So a lot of us are coming to that understanding and that balance. And the reason I say a lot of us is because every time I read for any of the signs, I resonate because I'm part of this collective. The collective I help is also, I'm part of this. You know, I mean, we're all connected. Period. We're all connected. And we have all signs in our chart somewhere. So, with this worry card, a lot of times I find that the card that's in the center is either something that is subconscious that you're not aware of. It seems like that's a lot of times the way that it works. That you have somewhat of a worry within yourself, but next to this humor card, I think we are getting to a space where we're releasing this worry. Whether we realize it or not, because like I said, it can be subconscious. You don't even know that you have that little piece of worry within you, and you're finally releasing that little bit of control and trying to, because when we worry about things, guys, that's when we're trying to control an outcome. We're trying to steer the universe, and we can't. All we can control is how we react, how we respond. That's the only way that we can be in the present moment, is by being mindful and paying attention to the way that we interact with our own little worlds, our own little universes. We are the creator of it. So that's why I feel like we're getting to this state of humor, to where we're getting to a more flow state, a more relaxing state, to where we can look at these things that we have held on to, these things that we have, beliefs and patterns, that are not ours, ones that we established when we were young, by observing others, by growing up in a certain place, around certain people. We're understanding that those are not our own beliefs. Those were beliefs that were someone else's. So now we're looking at it, and I personally, I've looked back at many things that I've created in my own life, and I can laugh about it now. Now, I mean, not everybody is in that space, but I feel like the water signs are getting there, to where we're understanding that those things had to happen. We had to pull those lessons to us. We had to project the energy outwards so that we could go through those trials and tribulations, so we could be in the space that we are right now in this moment. And we're choosing to see the humor in it, and not living in a space of lack, or a space of fear or worry or any of those things. Sorry guys, had to get a drink. But also having to understand, with this card right above the humor card, Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. We're seeing now how we are co-creating with the universe. We are doing things that are drawing the more positive energies to us, the more joyful, humorous energies to us, because that's what we're putting out. That's what we're projecting outwards, because we're acting out of a more healed state. And I think that's also where this Gaia card ties in, understanding that we are connected to one another and the Great Mother and to the universe. So we're getting to that space to where we're having a humorous outlook on, the stuff that we've been through. I mean, because, there's been times, lots of times, where I was not in that space. Many, 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 many years of not acting out of that space, because I was not acting from a healed standpoint. I was not facing my own worries and fears and pride and things like that. But I feel like water signs, we're getting to that space now, to where we're looking at the lighter side. We're seeing the humor in some of the things that we've been through in our lives. We're releasing this pride, understanding we have to be balanced within everything that we do. Whatever we give out, we now know that that's what will come back to us. So we're more mindful about how we interact with other people, what we're putting out into the world. Are we giving out, projecting joy? Are we projecting love and compassion? Are we projecting those things? And I feel like this is kind of where the water signs are right now, because with this growth card, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. We're getting more downloads. And I will tell you, the message I got last night was, where in our lives are we allowing control? And honestly, when I got that message, I started thinking and listing in my notebook, because I keep a journal. And if you can start keeping a journal, it will help you, because you can look back, 6 months ago, a year ago, and see what space you were in during that time, and that will help you. But I was trying to look at places where I was allowing others to control. And if you look at it, there's a lot of ways that we are controlled. And don't even realize it. But think about it this way, okay? For instance, job, you're working a job, 9 to 5, whatever your hours are. But if you are not acting out of a balanced state when working that job, you are giving your power away to that boss or that person that is above you. Because the way that everything is set up in this world, that's been this way for centuries, is a person that whoever's been there longer than you or whatever, that they have tenure or they are more experienced. But the way that I saw it last night was that just because that person has been there longer doesn't mean that they're more experienced or would perform better in that position. It's a matter of why, number one, are they working that job? Are they working the job because they're in a lack mentality and they feel like they have to work that job? Are they working the job or a career because that's something that their parents wanted them to do? Any of these things are good examples of how control works. And when people are working in a specific job or career and it's not their own passion, their own belief, their own thing that they want to do in life, then they're not going to perform at their peak. They're not going to perform at their best because it's not something they want to do. So why does that make that person higher paid and more important, to where we give our energy and we give our power away to that person? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with our school systems. Another example. We send our children to school to learn. Same thing my parents did, their parents did, and everybody else did, because it was a law. It's a law to send your children to school. But what are we doing by sending our children to school? Because when they go to school, they're learning control. They're learning to be followers, not leaders. They're learning to listen, sit down, sit still, do what you're told. And then the wheel continues in that aspect, because when they go to their first job or their first career, it's the same control pattern. It's the same thing. Or if they continue school and they go to college, it's the same control pattern, because it is a belief. And there's many things in our lives that controls us, and we just don't even realize how many things in our life are controlling. We are allowing, because guys, we can make the decisions. We're supposed to make the decisions in our life of how we want to live our lives. And then we have to look at, do we want to step off of that hamster wheel? Do we want to keep doing the same thing that everybody else did? Or do we want to make changes to our own life for the betterment of us and the betterment of our children? And this was the message I received last night, and I feel like it does apply probably with all of the collective. Fire, air, earth, water, it doesn't matter, because we have it all in our charts, guys. But I'm a water sign. I'm a Scorpio. I don't have a whole lot of water in my chart, though. I have more Sag than I do anything. But I feel like this particular message did apply, for water signs. because we do tend to be nurturing, and we do tend to overgive. We do tend to give our power and our control away to someone else. We do tend to put people on a pedestal and then push ourselves to the wayside. And that's something that I've been working on, and I feel like the other water signs have been working on this as well, because we're not going to be a doormat. We're not going to be the things that we used to be, because we've overcome those patterns of belief. We've overcome those patterns in our life that we created to what we thought made us feel safe. But now we're finding out that that didn't make us safe. It just made us followers. It just made us, we weren't in our power. We were standing for other people's beliefs, but not our own. And I think now we're getting a lot of downloads, and we're getting to a space to where we're not doing that anymore. We're releasing the worry. We're seeing the humor in the stuff that we've been through. I'm not going to go into the spill of some of the things that I've put myself through in my life, because we are the creator of our lives. And that's accepting responsibility and accountability for the stuff that we've been through, because we pulled that to us. We pulled those lessons to us. We chose people that would teach us those lessons. And that's seeing through another's eyes, kind of like this card says right here, where we know we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe. So we're understanding those things, understanding that there's patterns and beliefs that we had to let go. But we're seeing the humor in those, because some of the stuff, it's just like, why did I do that? Man, seriously, there's a lot of realizations going on in this Pisces energy, because we're in a more flow state. We're more open to receiving the messages. We just have to be mindful where we're getting the messages, but we also can't discount. Sometimes they come from unexpected places, similar to the Gemini reading I did. But in that message that I said I got last night, about where we being controlled in our lives, and it applies to this. Be loyal to what you love. Because if you're being loyal to what you love, people, places, things, what you love to do, what you're passionate about, what you're joyful about, then the abundant universe will provide. And with that Divine Feminine card, a lot of us are stepping back into and allowing our Divine Feminine energy to be balanced with our masculine energy. Because I know for a long time, myself personally, when I was still working on myself and healing, I stayed in a masculine energy because I was protecting my heart. I wasn't ready. I wasn't healed enough to project that Divine Feminine energy until I healed that within myself. So, I'm going to read this Eternal Flame card real quick and see what it says, and then I'll read the Divine Feminine. Eternal Flame. Coven Mother Cece's task is to await the return of Estrus, the last dragon. However, the lighthouse built to guide her home is crumbling, and Estrus has been lost for generations. The task seems hopeless, but Cece remains vigilant. Day after day she watches from the decaying balcony. Her fate is as battered as the stonework, but the lantern is never allowed to go out. Cece inherited her duty from the former watcher and will pass it on if Estrus does not return in her lifetime. Remember, there are events playing out that transcend single lifetimes, and although our part in them might be fleeting, It is not insignificant. Have faith. So some of us possibly, we're feeling, battered, worn out, to that space where, we just like, I quit. I give it up. I give it up to you, God. You take the wheel. Some of us were in that space. And some of us has healed that space to where we are walking by faith, not by sight, walking by faith. Because we know the abundant universe will provide. We know we are protected. We know that we are loyal to what we love. And we're not going to let anybody take us off that space. We're not going to allow, because it's all on us, guys. Our own individual selves, each one of us controls our own universe. We're not going to allow anymore. We're not giving our power away anymore. We are standing in our power. I'm going to read that Divine Feminine card, and then I'm going to let you guys go so you can enjoy the day. It's very beautiful out today. Nice warm weather. Divine Feminine card equals a 21. That's a 3. Three-dimensional reality is based on the duality between opposites and their eternal movement toward union. Everything is created in pairs, male, female, matter, spirit, empty, full, dark, light, and so on. Without the tension caused by the magnetic push and pull of duals, there would be no movement, and without movement there would be no life as we know it. When the push and pull of opposites is equal, a state of balance is achieved. For humans to live harmoniously with each other, the masculine and the feminine have to reach a state of union, both outward in relationships with each other, as well as inward in a balanced state of heart, mind, and soul. The masculine and feminine attributes inside all of us have to be fully realized, understood, and expressed. Now that we are moving into a new energy, the enhanced qualities of these two opposites in human nature are emerging and urging us to let go of the roles we have traditionally assigned to the past, allowing a new masculinity and new femininity to arise. The Divine Feminine is fluid and receptive. It surrenders and opens, and is able to easily give way and pull towards galaxies of emptiness and higher consciousness when facilitated by true divine masculinity. This femininity is intrinsically connected to the higher realms and Mother Earth, giving birth to life, ideas, expressions, and dreams. That's a perfect card to come out with this spread, because it really talks about everything that we talked about in this video, guys. It's we're stepping completely into our power. We're not allowing things to we're not giving our power and allowing control. We're getting into a flow state. We are allowing the things that are for our highest good. We are allowing this next version of our own reality. We're allowing things to change, not staying stuck in old beliefs, old patterns. We're changing the status quo. We're going after what we're passionate about, being loyal to what we're passionate about. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope everything is beautiful where you guys are. Be good to yourselves. And I will see you guys soon.